Nerd World. This is Bobby from FBN TV, aka the Full Blooded Nerd. That intro feels good every time I do it. It's something that I love doing. But this video isn't for FBN TV to say. It's more for other people, and it's something that is private. But I guess me putting it out there is to talk about things that should be talked about. I don't know where to begin. I was told last night that I don't open up enough, which is funny because I was told I open up too often before. So I guess trying to find that in between is a little strange. I'm dealing with a lot of shit. And I've been dealing with a lot of shit for years. And years. And years. I should have made this video a long time ago. To get out to people so people can understand. And people need to. They need to talk about it. Whew. So where do I begin? Where do I start? Do I start talking about how I feel? Again, something that I'm not truly okay with yet. Do I talk about my situation? Which my situation's good. I'm talking my personal situation as far as other things. I'm terrified. For reasons. I don't know how to honestly say how I feel because I feel like I'm selfish. Me talking about my feelings, I feel selfish. Because I know there are people who have had worse shit happen to them. Absolutely worse things. So what gives me the right to feel sad and depressed? That is how I feel. So I don't talk about it. I don't talk about it. What gives me the right to feel sad when there are people out there who are homeless, who have been raped, all sorts of bad, worse shit you can imagine. What gives me the right to be sad and depressed? So, why don't I open up? Because of those reasons. Because I don't have the right to feel this way. I've lost a lot. But I feel like people have lost more. This freaking video, it sounds disingenuous. Part of me doesn't even want to post this. Because I feel like people are going to look at it like I'm patronizing them. I'm not. It's quite the opposite, to be honest. It's very much the opposite. I feel like I don't. I have no right to be sad. I have no right. I shouldn't be. Just because I've lost things, there are people out there who have lost more than me. But I am. Depression is a bitch. Okay? It's a fucking bitch. My feelings, my bullshit. Okay. Let's get into it. If this is what people want, then let's get into it. When did I know that I had depression? I was probably about 12 years old. Maybe younger. How did it start? You'd have to go back from the beginning. So my name is Robert Healy. I was born March 20th, 1987. Salem, Massachusetts. That's where the witch trials are. Yay. I was born a normal baby. 10 pounds, 8 ounces. I was normal. Outside of, I had a hernia, which is actually pretty common. So, I was not born short or a little person. I was born normal. I was born to a woman named Susan Marilyn Field. Susan Marilyn Healy. My father, John Francis Healy. Sorry if I'm like, have my finger over the camera. I'm like trying to position this, and at the same time, I get fidgety and stuff, so. My height really didn't become an issue until I was about 3 years old. Somewhere around there. I got blood poisoning. Don't ask me how. No idea. My family doesn't even know. Like, no clue. But it happened. I did get blood poisoning. And I was pretty sick. They weren't sure if I was going to make it, type of sick. I was about 2 or 3 years old, somewhere around there. I guess that's what I was told. Ever since then, I kind of stopped growing, really. When I got to elementary school, I met some really great friends that I have to this day. One best friend I have to this day. But I was bullied a lot. And my friends were bullied a lot. So it's not something that I was alone with or anything like that. Like, no, we were all bullied. The group of us. I remember one time I got, yeah. So, kids are mean. Kids are assholes. Little shits. They don't understand that it can affect somebody. And you don't understand how much that can affect you when you get older. Just something small and insignificant can affect you when he gets older. Something that doesn't mean anything. It shouldn't mean anything. Like being bullied, it shouldn't mean anything when you're an adult. It really shouldn't. But shit does. And I think that that's a mental thing. I don't know. I have no idea. This is how it started. Okay, I told you my friends or myself were bullied. Oh, my hair. Sorry, it's been a mess the entire time. I'm still trying to recover from everything. There was a day, it was in elementary school, Huckleberry Hill School in Field, Massachusetts. Alright, my friends were around and they were sat down by the bullies. And they called them the Three Blind Mice. Now, it sounds so insignificant, really. I mean, it sounds stupid. Right? Like, literally. It sounds stupid. Calling somebody three blind mice, like, that doesn't mean anything. But when you fucking, as a child, it still is painful. I jumped in because I had some anger issues when I was a kid. I had some serious fucking anger, serious anger issues. I wanted to stand up for people, especially my friends. So, I stepped in with, for, like, in front of the bullies, and guess who got beat up? I mean, I was an easy target anyways. To be real, I was an easy target. So that's just something. I guess small and insignificant, that's something. At home, I didn't feel very welcome. At home. I think most of my issues lie from at home. I don't think the bullying got worse when I was in middle school, and this is something I'm not open at all, and something I'm not going to talk about is middle school. I'm not. That's something that if people want to know about that, like how dark I got and how upset I got, we can talk about it, but I'm not doing this on video. So yeah, maybe we should. Give me a minute. I have to think about something. Okay. So at home, I was around 10 years old. My parents got divorced. Again, this is normal shit. Parents get divorced, get bullied in school. It's all normal. There's no, that's life. Figure it out. My mom was really abusive to me. She was really good to me, but she was really abusive. I'd hate coming home. I was nervous to go home, just on my grades. It really, that was the worst part. My mom wasn't, abusive when it came to dishes, or laundry, or cleaning the room, or anything like that. She was actually, pretty nice about that. My grades, though, that was different. I was a BC student. I was not a straight A student like my sister is. My sister was a straight A student. I was a B and C student. Sometimes F's and shit, but whatever. The C's, though. If I got a C plus, my mom would flip out at me. Fucking, she would lose her mind on me for a fucking C plus. It was terrifying. Now, will I say, did I try hard in school? No, I didn't try that hard. I actually tried probably very little. When I tried, yes, I got straight A's. Funny how that works. But I didn't want to try. I didn't find school fun. Again, I was bullied at school. I didn't want to be there half the time. And then when I would go home, I didn't want to be there either. So, going back to my mom, and it's a big issue in my life. My mother she was a good person. I can say that. She was a good person. She was really mean when she got drunk. She was really mean when she got upset about things that have nothing to do with me. She could be very mean. She would bring things into the divorce that had nothing to do with me, or shouldn't have anything to do with me. For example, I was told that you love me more than you love your father, and you're going to tell the judge that. At 11 years old, 10, 11 years old, you should not be put in that position. You're a child. That's not on you. But this is what happened to me. My mom ended up meeting another guy. His name was Bill. I forget what the fuck his last name was. It honestly doesn't matter. He's a piece of crap. Absolute piece of shit. And he can rot in hell, for all I care. Bill. So Bill, so he was a drug addict. My mom wasn't at this point. My mom just wasn't. She would drink, sure, whatever, but she wasn't an addict at this point. This is the first taste of me crying and wanting somebody to cry to and being told to that you're a bitch. Crybaby bitch. That's what I was called. A crybaby bitch by my stepfather. And I was hit by my stepfather. Guess he was coked out of his mind. No fucking idea. Ain't shit. I've been there. But I wouldn't hurt anybody when I'm coked out. I haven't been coked out in a long time. I'm trying to make a joke. So I've not been strung out in a while. Oh, I'm trying to make a joke. So I remember where I was. I was in Freedom, New Hampshire when that happened. My mom divorced him 2 days later because of it. So my mom is a good person, and she did love me, and she loved me deeply. There are things like fucking my Little League baseball game where my dad and my stepmom came to it. And the fucking police came. Because my mom was upset that my fucking stepmom was there. And she called the fucking police. It's my baseball game. This has nothing to do with her. It has nothing to do with my dad. I had to leave the baseball game. I sat down on the bench and cried my eyes out. Jordan Park, Linfield, Massachusetts. Again, this shit doesn't seem like it's that bad. It's not. The grand scheme of things, it's not that bad. But it still hurts. And it's still things that do affect me, even though they shouldn't. So, this was when I was about, again, 10, 11 years old. This is what I was dealing with at that age. Being hit, being abused. My dad, he doesn't know. Well, he does know. He doesn't talk about it. He has hit me when I was a kid. He was drunk a lot at that point, but he will do anything to make up for it. That's a big difference. He won't talk about it, sure. He will acknowledge it, but he won't talk about it. And he's trying to make up for it. As far as my mom goes, as far as middle school, so I was trying to, I said I need a minute to see if I want to talk about middle school. I was homicidal in middle school. Not suicidal, homicidal. I was both. Because of how poorly I was treated at home, at school. That's when it really kicked in. 8th grade, 15 years old, 8th grade. I would dread Spanish class every day. I would dread it. Like, you have no fucking idea how much I would dread it. I was surrounded by people who did nothing but make fun of me. Who would throw things at me. Tell me I was ugly. Call me a little bitch. Push me. Laugh at me. And the Spanish teacher did nothing. And I had to leave class a few times. I would have to go to the principal's office, the therapist at school, whatever. I forget what that's fucking called. Student, whatever. To get out of fucking class. 8th grade was the worst year for me. One of the worst years. That was bad. My homeroom teacher and my English teacher, same person, she was really a bitch. She was an old school type of teacher. Very old school. And she was a bitch. It was tough love type of bitch, right? I tried hard on a project. One time I remember I spent hours trying on this fucking project. And I got a fucking F. I got an F on it. Now, I told you earlier in the video how my mom freaks out about fucking C+. Imagine her reaction to an F. So I started changing my grades on my report card because I didn't want my mom to know. So I was scared. I hated going home. I hated being at school. I was angry and I was upset, and I was so fucking upset. I fucking hated 8th grade. God, I fucking hated 8th grade so effing much. It fucking sucks to be scared no matter where you go. It fucking sucks. So I became homicidal. I was gonna kill everybody. That's the honest to God truth. I was gonna kill everybody, including myself. I wanted to go out. I wasn't sure how I was gonna do it. I tried to light my fucking house on fire. That's a story that nobody knows. Yep, that happened. I didn't accomplish it, clearly, but I tried to. 15 years old. I tried to light my house on fire because I didn't want my mom to see my English teacher because of how I knew I was going to be hurt. Emotionally, not physically. Physically, you could deal with. Emotionally, that is on another level. That fucks your brain up. I was so scared that I tried to fucking light my house on fire. I wanted to go to jail. Or die. One of the two. It's my first time trying to cut. 15 years old. I didn't even realize that was a thing back then. I just knew that I was doing it. So what else, right? What else? What else happened? 15 years old, again. Going to my freshman year of high school. So, my sister's freshman year of college. She's in the choir. And she tells me that my mom's a drug addict. So she tells me my mom's a drug addict. Has to do with back in the early 2000s, Percocet. The manufacturers of Percocet, the people who control the patent, their big thing with it was it's not addictive. That's what they said. So Percocet, if you don't know, is a class 2 medication, the C2. Where Vicodin is a fucking C2 now. And Vicodin is not nearly as fucking bad as Percocet is. Not even close. Anyways. So, my mom, she was a gymnast, and years of doing gymnastics and whatnot got to her. And she threw out her back. Not threw out her back. She got into a car accident and her back got fucked up from that and from the gymnastics in general. She got prescribed Percocet. From there, this was an overtime type of thing. This wasn't like an overnight type of shit. She went from being, again, abusive to me when I would get a C plus to being abusive to me when, according to her, I didn't wash my hair properly. She didn't remember the things that she was saying. She had no idea. I would lock myself in a bathroom. I get on the phone with my dad. Again, he doesn't talk about this. He doesn't like to. And I would cry. My mom was really... It's like mental abuse times like 20,000, 100,000, a million, you name it. My mom was really fucking terrible to me at that point. And I would do anything I could to help her. From watching Conan O'Brien with her, Little League Baseball, making dinner, shit like that. I would do it. Because she needed help. I flushed her pills down the toilet quite a few times. I've had to drive her to get fucking drugs. I didn't even have a fucking license at that point or a driver's permit. She had seizures in front of me. She she would just randomly show up to my school to pick me up so I could buy her drugs. This was my life. It went from being abused about getting grades to being abused about not doing anything right. Walking wrong. Remember, I said at the beginning, she was never mean about dishes not being done, laundry not being done, room not being clean. She was never upset about those things. All of a sudden, she became very upset very quickly about little things. A speck of dirt, a pot left in the sink. And when I say that she was mean, I don't. A pot in the sink would be. She would tell me to kill myself over something like that. That I deserved to die, that I was a bastard. Over a pot in the sink. That was my life at that point. She would start nodding off in front of me, which, if anybody knows me, or people who do know me very well, okay, again, this is something that's a learning process for you. Nodding off will actually set me off. It's a PTSD thing with me, I guess. I won't even want to call it PTSD because I feel like that's disingenuous. I just know what's going to happen. I'm going to freak out. I'm going to freak out. If I see someone nodding off, I will fucking freak out. I'll get really angry and really upset really quick. I will want to kill you at that point. That is honest to God truth. Because of what it represents to me. Because of all the crap. Anyway, so, alright. That's a side. That sounds fucking awful. I'm not a bad person. Been told I'm not a bad person. So, sorry.